chosen ones, empaths, you may have experienced a period of silence where you haven't heard from the narcissist. They've gone quiet, possibly they've ghosted you. But I want you to understand that they've just retreated to a point of safety. You see, they feel threatened by a chosen one and an empath. We're truth seekers, we're truth tellers. We walk in our truth. They walk in lies and deception. And a lot of the times, why they've ghosted you, why they've retreated, is because it's easier for them to make a new life somewhere else, in a new city, with a new supply, than it is to continue with you. That is the reality of why they ghost, why they go silent. They don't have the words to utter to you first and foremost, right? They don't have the words to speak in their vocabulary to basically give you the answers that they want, that you need to hear. They also don't want to give you closure, so they deny giving you closures in hopes that you'll inevitably remain caught up on them, right? But they retreat to a place where they sit and observe, and they will watch you, right? Especially if you're on social media, like, and you might say, Zion, I've blocked them. Did it? You've got accounts or DMs, or you've got accounts trying to follow you or whatever. I'm not that well versed in this social media stuff, but you've got accounts that are reaching out to you that is really them. You've got to understand they've probably still got little trinkets, just like a murderer or a serial killer will keep trinkets, you know, a ring, a piece of jewelry. It doesn't just have to be a piece of jewelry, it can be anything. They keep a trinket as a trophy. The narcissist has probably still got trinkets of yours. I reckon it's highly unlikely that they packed everything up and didn't at least take something of yours. I've heard of people, they've taken their headphones, they've taken different sorts of stuff. I've told you how they tried to steal my dead mother's ashtray, crystal ashtray. And this was during the time when they retreated to their place of safety, you know. Please press the like and a subscribe button. Help your brother out. Take 2 seconds of your time. And the reason why I call it a place of safety is because we challenge them. We challenge them. That's what we are. We become more of a challenge to them. The more and more, the longer the time they spend with a chosen one and an empath, and the cracks we start to see in the mask, we become harder to deal with. We become harder to control. So for them to try and take a lead in the race, to try and take pole position, they ghost us, they disappear, to try and invoke feelings of abandonment. But those feelings of abandonment that they're trying to make you feel like, they've projected that onto you because that's how they feel in their everyday life. But you've got to understand that they keep a closer eye on you than your friends do. You know, you might have some close friends or associates. Your friends don't check your social media like they do. Your friends don't, for those that aren't on social media, don't come and walk around the perimeter of your area and stalk around the perimeter of your area. I've heard of stories that they've moved they've moved states and stuff, and then all of a sudden they've showed back up in the state that the person's from. See, I'm from UK, so we've got neighboring towns and cities, but like, in comparison to America, that's like going to a whole nother country in UK. Like if I was to go to Europe or somewhere, France or Belgium or somewhere, like that's the distance that you lot travel just to go from state to state. And I've heard of stories where the narcissist will be back in the state, even though they deserted that a little while ago. They'll be back in the area. They'll be trying to find information out. You got to realize that they're watching you from afar. They're watching to see if you're dying out. And if you're shining brighter than before, this puts fear in them. They realize what they tried to attempt to do to you. The pain they tried to make you endure. It didn't last. It was temporary. You've made it through. You're shining brighter. But like, I know this is facts. I know this is facts. This is not even debatable. I always get comments in the comment section. Oh, what did I read one today? They said, oh, why are you looking for validation from the narcissist? We're not looking for validation. We're basically speaking truth about what the narcissist does after an event of when they've pretended that they don't like us, they don't want nothing to do with us, and they've pushed us away, discarded us, or pushed us so far that we had to cut them off. It's not validation we're looking for. The only thing we're looking for at the beginning, especially when this happens, is we're looking for answers. We're looking for reasons why they've done this. And I know for a fact, I'm going to probably get comments saying, oh, this isn't true, da-da-da-da-da. I know for a fact the narcissist keeps watching. They have to keep watching for supply. Them watching you from afar, especially an empath or a chosen one, stimulates them more. Them speaking to you from a fake profile, them messaging you, DMing you from a fake profile, or following you, or doing something like that, stimulates them more and gives them more of a euphoric rush than it does with their deadwood supply that they're with now. Probably even in intimacy. They probably get more thrills from, treading ground around us. I've heard of stories where the narcissist stalks that house, stalks the person. And I know this is facts because I'm hearing it from so many people. They've all gone through it. And I'm going through it as well, even up till fairly recently. I departed from the narcissist when I was 24. The narcissist was emailing me when I'm 30. That's 6 years. Right? From a fake profile. Then they revealed it was them. Then they tried to pretend it was a fake one again. When I buoyed them off. When I cussed them. That's what we say in UK. When I cussed them out. Right? They tried to cover their tracks again. But they really thought that they could speak to me 6 years later and I'm going to be like, oh, hello, how are you, Like I'm going to talk to them. I don't want nothing to do with them. And this is why I know it's facts. 6 years is a very long time. How the hell did they find out I was on YouTube? How did they find out I was on YouTube? Did a flying monkey tell them I was on YouTube? How did they find out? I don't know. But they found out I'm on YouTube. And probably if I was doing live streams and stuff, they'll jump in the live stream. I don't really like to do live streams. I haven't done any live streams. Maybe it's something I'll think about in the future. But this is the facts. So I want you to understand that if this is happening to me, it's happening to many other subscribers and viewers of my content. They're watching you. They're keeping watching you to see your recovery rate, to see how far you come in your journey. They want to see if you're injured. They want to see if you're in pain. They want to see if you're hurting. They want to see this because this gives them supply. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what you're thinking. The narcissist even said to me when I used to be with them, I want to know what you think. This is how possessive they are. Remember that, are never done with us. You know, they're never done with us. They might put you on the shelf, you know. They might put you on the shelf or, you know, put you on the hook to come pick back up later. If you're not waiting there for them, they haven't got you to come back to pick up. So the next best thing they can do is try and stalk you. And that's cyber stalking. You know? It's looking through a digital window. I said this in my court case. I said they're harassing me through fake profiles. They're looking at my profile. That's a digital window to my world that they're viewing me through. At the same time, they're calling police on me. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with this for years. Dating sites that I go on, it's them behind the profiles. Not all the time, but it's been them. Dating apps. Normally girls don't reach out to guys. Random girls will reach out. Then they'll leave a little clue that it's them. And I've just abolished dating apps in general, because to be honest with you, I met them on a dating app and I'm thinking to myself, maybe dating apps isn't a good place to meet people. You know, I've met other people in the street and it seems to be better than dating sites. But, you know, this narcissist, I told you the story. You can watch the video when I said this proves the narcissist never gets over a chosen one. If you want to hear the story about what they done, they really went to full lengths to create this alias, this fake profile, this fake email, this fake story, this fake background story, talking like they're from another country, and it was them the whole time. And there's actually an order in place where we're not meant to communicate. This is what's driving them insane. So they can't rock up to my house like they can do to you. You know what I'm saying? This is why if you make sure there's barriers in place and there's no contact rules in place, there's, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got a restraining order, you got something on them, you need to put barriers in place to make sure they stay away from your life. And this is what's driving the narcissist in my life so crazy. Because they blockaded themselves in where they can't just rock up to my house. They can't just come and phone my phone. My number's changed. I changed numbers. After the narcissist, I changed number, changed phone. My phone was hacked. They're weirdos. They're proper weirdos. You know what I'm saying? And during the time that from around the time the police got involved and stuff like that, they was actually watching me on my phone. Certain messages that I had as evidence got deleted from my phone. Then I realized, okay, this is hacked. I've been on devices and devices moving by itself. I don't know how they done this. I know there's a certain hacking software called Pegasus. I know there's a hacking software that they can install on your app. Like it's for partners. Like you install it on your partner's phone, then you delete that app from your partner's phone, so they don't know it's on the phone. But then it gives you full access to the phone. I remember even in high school, there used to be an app on the old Sony Ericsson's phones where you could do it through Bluetooth and you could control the person's phone, and we used to set each other's ringtones off in class. Like that was primitive. So this is all like, how long ago was that in school? 16 years ago, 17 years ago. You know what I mean? So things have advanced a lot since then, and they do this and they keep watch. And you need to make sure you're putting in place ways that they can't watch, ways they can't keep an eye on you, ways they can't see into your world. Because if they can't see into your world, this is why it's like, you could look at this as two separate ways. You could look at, okay, I'm off social media, I'm off it, they can't see my world. That's good. But also, I don't want you to be where you don't live your life. You know, if you enjoy using your social media, or you enjoy posting, or you enjoy these things, then I don't want you to stop doing what you enjoy just because of them. Maybe taking a break for a little while might help. Maybe taking a break and jumping back on it soon. That's an option. That's what I had done originally. I don't even use social media to begin with. I only started using the YouTube this year. Only got an Instagram this year. Rest of the time I was just ghost. I've never liked social media, even from Bebo days and MSN and all of that stuff. I never used it for my whole life. It just never really something that appealed to me. But now, where YouTube's a good platform, I believe, Instagram can be a good, useful platform for business related purposes. So I'm using them for those reasons. But I just want you to understand that it's not a myth. It's not a myth that they're watching. It's not a myth. They do keep watching. They're weirdos. They are lost individuals that keep watch and keep watch on you. Years down the line. Come on. Look, I'm telling you, it's 6 years. 6 years is a long time. I don't even know what 365 days times 6 is. But it's a lot of days. Right? And it's a long time we haven't communicated properly, face to face, person to person. The last time I saw them was in the courtroom, right? And even then, they got made out to look like a bit of a fool. They got made to look out like a bit of a fool in the court case. But I'm trying to say to you that I have provisions in place where they can't contact me. They can't rock up to my house. They can't just. So it's driving them nuts. These are all forms of no contact. If you've got open doors for them where they can just freely walk into your lives whenever they want, they can freely call your phone, they can freely see your social media, they can freely do all that. No, you need to put blocks in place, no contacts. You need to put blocks in place. Or if you don't care, that you can let them see it. But I don't want it to become an obsession where you're posting things with them in mind. Because I'm posting and I don't care if they see it or not. I'm not taking into my mind that they're watching all of my videos. I just know that they've watched some which they spoke about. And they watched one definitely that I know when I done a response to them making the fake profile and contacting me. Then they emailed me again. So I know they watched those. I don't care if they're not watching it. But I know that they found me, and I don't know how long they were watching the channel before they even made themselves known. Right? They're a proper troll. They're just weirdos. And the reason you've got to understand, this is not just stemmed from an obsession of watching their prey or their hurt victim. It's actually because life's not going well for them at this moment in time. They're getting older. Things ain't working out. People might be seeing through their fakery. New supplies aren't equating to what you used to equate to. They start to realize and miss the connection that you used to have. There's a range of things, and I've made videos on all of these topics, so you can scroll through and see. But just understand that even if time has gone past, the narcissist is keeping watch. They're watching you. So as long as if you can get on your healing journey and rebuild and enjoy your healing journey. And some of you in the comments, I made a video about being I can't remember the title, but I mentioned about being alone and how it's a very beautiful thing and a very powerful thing that you can enjoy solitude. And I'm not saying it's something you need to do for the rest of your life, but I'm saying it's something that you should do for a period of time during your healing process. It's just crucial. It's something the narcissist doesn't do. They jump from supply to supply to supply to supply. They never give themselves any breathing space. They can't survive and function in the world alone. That's why they always need a supply. Even if it's a mediocre supply, they'll soak up a bit of supply from there. They'll soak up a bit of supply from their family and friends. And they'll try and jumble something together and make up a mixture of supply. Right, but it still won't equate to the potent supply that you used to offer. A lot of the times, a lot of us chosen ones and empaths were the main source of supply. They didn't have other sources of supply when we was around. But where they're finding themselves now is they're needing our remnants of supply through the fake accounts, through the DMs, through reaching out to us, through trying to just mess up our lives from a distance, right? They need those remnants of supply, plus they need the supply from their new supply, plus they need supply from their family and friends, and they're just desperate for any remnants of supply of the potency that we offer, right? But as long as you've door slammed them and put the door slam in place, you've made it clear that they can't come back to your life. This leaves them desperate. This leaves them hurt. This leaves them lost. And just understand that just because it's quiet, just a bit too quiet, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit too quiet. And when it's a bit too quiet, it's because they're watching, right? I've heard of stories, different numbers calling people's phones. The number one thing I'd say to do, change your phone. I'm not telling you to relocate because it's not in everyone's means to relocate. But make it where they're not allowed to come to your house. By filing if they're possessively contacting you or have possessively contacted you, file a restraining order. Or get some kind of injunction or at least let authorities know that this person is stalking you or contacting you on social media or stuff like this. It's a harder territory to cross when they do it through cyber stalking, because police often don't do anything about it, and they tell you to get forensic scientists and stuff like that, cyber security, and it's a harder territory to get involved in, and cybersecurity is very expensive. But if they're DMing you a lot, from fake profiles, and they haven't altered their, what's it called? You know, the thing where it says where your location is. I can't remember what it's called, but it says where your location is on a computer. Sometimes you can use technologies to bounce it so it shows that you're from another place in the world. If they haven't got that in place and they're doing this all from their phones, then you've got a whole lot of evidence that you could use to catch them out. Because stalking is crazy. If there was no social media, as I said in a couple of other videos, listen, I'm telling you, we'll be walking out in our house in the mornings, and we would have narcissists hanging in trees and bushes, staring and watching like weirdos. Like a serious thing. We would have that happening. But we're not having that happening but some of them still resort to that kind of creepish behavior, hanging in bushes and trees and stuff. Some of them still resort to that. There's some people that openly admit that they stalk online. They openly admit they stalk their victims, right? It's crazy what they do. It's crazy how obsessed they get. But I know they get so obsessed with us because we're chosen and because we're empaths. So look, if it's gone a bit quiet, don't worry. Promise you, they're still watching. And I'm not telling you this to comfort you or to freak you out or to make you scared or to make you worried. I'm just trying to make you aware that these that are watching, and just because it's gone quiet, if you're still dealing with the trauma bond and you're still dealing with the heartache and stuff like that, and this is fresh wounds, listen, I promise you, if you do what I've told you to do in this video and what I also tell you to do in my other videos, if you do what I tell you to do and you utilize no contact, you cut them out like a lobotomy out of your mind, soul and spirit, and you focus on your healing, they're going to pop out of the woodwork sooner or later. They're like a woodlouse. They're going to pop out. They're just going to pop out of the woodwork. Promise you that. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can find the link in the description box. Currently, my schedule for sessions, I've had to postpone it. So I'm going to re-update my schedule. I've had to take myself, so my schedule's fully, you won't be able to make a booking at this current moment But in the next couple of days, I'm going to update my schedule. It's just because I've got a few things going on that I need to sort out. So I'm going to update my schedule, and you'll be back to be able to be booking sessions again. So I do apologize about that and any inconvenience it's caused. And if you have booked a session and I've had to cancel it, I do apologize for that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.